Good, happy Thursday evening, April 9, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Thursday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Thursday evening, so let's begin. First up, we begin with some breaking news. Social distancing in New Hampshire may be working, must be continued, health experts say. Governor Chris Sununu and Dr. Benjamin Chan, state epidemiologist, had a press conference today at 3 p.m. 3 more deaths related to COVID-19 reported. Governor Sununu, state officials updating New Hampshire coronavirus response. As 3 more deaths related to COVID-19 were confirmed in New Hampshire, health officials said Thursday the state's efforts to slow the spread of the coronavirus through social distancing might be working, and it's important to keep those efforts up. Dr. Benjamin Chan, the state epidemiologist, said it's possible that the rate of the spread of coronavirus could be slowing, but it's too early to tell. He said it's critical that social distancing measures continue to be practiced, warning that multiple outbreaks could occur otherwise. Chan said it's likely that New Hampshire could hit a peak of infectionists in the next few weeks. He said the numbers could change dramatically because it takes 2 weeks for symptoms to appear after infection. Another 31 people have been confirmed to have COVID-19 in New Hampshire, bringing the state's total to 819, Chan said. He said 127 of those patients have required hospital care and 21 people have died. Chan said half of the deaths in the past few days have been linked to outbreaks in long-term care facilities. All were patients who were older than 60 or who had other medical problems. New Hampshire is conducting about 400 tests per day in the state, Chan said. Coronavirus disease, COVID-19 in New Hampshire. What you need to know. Let's take a look. And here is your COVID-19 in New Hampshire. There are 819 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 432,438 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 21 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 127 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 4,808 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. This map of New Hampshire shows cases of COVID-19 in the towns and cities in New Hampshire. Nashua has 34 cases of COVID-19. In this graph here, new cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, daily new positive cases of COVID-19. In the orange, new hospitalizations. And in the red are the deaths. Your common symptoms: fever, cough, and difficult breathing. How it spreads. And prevention tips. Be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Tens of thousands of Granite Staters apply for unemployment benefits. Officials say millions of dollars have gone out as more claims come in. Let's take a listen to that video from WR News 9, Ray Brewer.
accurate count helps inform where billions go every year.
Shape your future. Start here.
This is one of the call centers in New Hampshire where unemployment claims are being handled. News 9 also got a look at the server room where the data is stored.
Right now, we're seeing numbers like nothing we've ever seen before.
The latest unemployment report from the U.S. Department of Labor shows that for the week ending April 4th, New Hampshire had 36,000 new claims.
That brings us up over 105,000 new claims that have been filed in the state since Governor Sununu issued his order that expanded eligibility back on March 17th.
For individuals who are experiencing trouble filing their claims, Labor says the best way to do that is through their website, nhes.nh.gov. And Labor says the checks for many are in the mail.
We've issued $10 million just this week to over 30,000 individuals.
But those checks will not contain the extra $600 a week from the Federal CARES Act. Labor saying the federal government is still issuing guidelines for the states.
We are hopeful right now that we'll have that payment will be included in checks that get issued after April 15th.
While the greatest numbers of unemployment claims are coming from southern New Hampshire, officials also say there are sections of the North Country that are being hit disproportionately hard. Next week, New Hampshire will issue its statewide numbers, but the deputy commissioner says that only looks back to mid-March. We really have to wait until May to get a clear picture of what's happening in the state. In Concord, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Supreme Court judge strikes down SB 3 voting registration law as unconstitutional. Ruling finds requirements imposed by 2017 law unfair, burden, right to vote. A 2017 Republican-authored law that tightened the identification requirements for registering to vote and ultimately voting in New Hampshire was struck down as unconstitutional by a Supreme Court judge in a ruling made public today. Dover police investigate bank robbery, seek tips in case. Police seek alleged robber. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Shape your future. Start here. Complete the census at 2020census.gov.
A bank robber's protective mask did not provide the cover he wanted. It apparently slipped off during a robbery today in Dover. Police hope someone will recognize the man who they say robbed the Bank of America on Washington Street. They found this clothing in the pictures and say the suspect was last seen in a pink shirt and dark shorts over pink pants.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Thursday evening. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market for all of you for this Thursday evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the green and went up. Oil closed in the red and went down. US 10-year closed flat. Euro/USD closed in the red and went down. And VIX closed in the red and went down. S&P 500 jumps more than 1%, capping off its best week since 1974. Stocks sharply rose on Thursday, wrapping up a big week of gains after the Federal Reserve detailed a wave of programs to support the economy during the shutdowns from the coronavirus pandemic. And your coronavirus updates. More cases in New York than any single country. In New York State, over 160,000 people have been diagnosed with COVID-19. A global pandemic of the novel coronavirus has claimed the lives of at least 16,129 people in the United States and at least 94,567 people worldwide. In New York State, over 160,000 people have been diagnosed with COVID-19, the disease caused by the new respiratory virus, according to data compiled by the Center for Systems Science and Engineering at Johns Hopkins University. The number of cases in New York alone is now higher than any other country. In the U.S., over 452,000 have been diagnosed. Worldwide, more than 1.57 million people have been diagnosed since the virus emerged into China in December. The actual numbers are believed to be much higher due to testing shortages, many unreported cases, and suspicious that some governments are hiding the scope of their nation's outbreaks. Today's biggest developments: UK Prime Minister out of intensive care. New York may be reaching its peak in the outbreak, Dr. Fauci says. In Michigan, creates task force to look at racial disparity. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another broadcast. Good night and bye, everyone. And I have a news report coming up in a little bit. Bye.